just gonna show you a little bit about what I'm doing right now, which is very tiny work, but it's okay. It's worth it in the end. I want mine to look different than anybody's. So basically what I'm doing right now is, as you can see, this is not gonna be the finished color. It's a little different than, it'll be what you see these. Pretty much what I'm doing right now is coloring these diamonds carefully. I'm not gonna do the sides of them. It's way too tiny and unnecessary. It is unnecessary, trust me. They're so small that the sides are insignificant as far as the shine, because there's that little deep recess which will get washed anyway. But so I'm just doing these, and then what I'm going to do is, when I'm done with these, I will do the flat spots. Those are annoying, but I have like a little technique, kinda. I was just sitting here painting, and I was like, let's just show the work that goes into these. And again, they don't have to be perfect. I mean, the dude's battling, right? As long as they're pretty good. So all the ones in this area, and that's the way I do it, I'll just do this little quarter. They're all done from here to here over. I think I did this one already. It looks like it. It's a very small difference in the color, but if I could show you something that's already done, I'll do this piece. You can, I mean, I can see it. I'm not sure how it shows up in the camera, but it's definitely done. And in the long run, like I said, when it's done, you'll notice those little things, and that's what makes it mine, or whoever buys it, or anyone in the future. I'll be doing the same thing. So for these, seriously, this is annoying. This is not fun, but it's just, it's just sucky. But I put the effort in, like I do to everything I'd work on. So you'll see, when the paint, normally I'll wipe the paint off, because then I can do it a little differently. Like I just push it up against each side. Anything that's facing this direction, I will do it. And this is why, because every time you turn it, you get another direction to push the paint, and it's just much faster than using a little paintbrush, at least for me. You know, better than using a small paintbrush and then trying to stay in the, I don't know, stay in the corners. I mean, thankfully the texture is bumped, so I'm not going to go over it. That's what I like when the modelers do that. They give you a nice model with some texture to it, so you're not like for example, the Master Chief's leg is not like that. I have to do that by hand and eye, just by and not memory, but I definitely look at my old work every time I do his leg, just to be sure. If you see them, you'll understand what I'm saying. So I'm almost done with all these ones, and then I'll show you when I turn it. Did I do that one? Sometimes it's hard to tell, because I forgot to wipe off the excess. You don't really want a lot of paint for these, and believe it or not, if you just barely touch the paintbrush, and this paintbrush is a piece of shit. Believe me, it is so cheap and generic, but it's like a brush that hangs around because it's so convenient for doing stuff just like this, and so I keep it around. My bud. So try to get most of them that I can see. So you miss them, it's okay. You'll know when you turn it. This color is very close to the other color. It is definitely darker because I can see it. But when I turn it to do the other, like it seems like right now I turn, I can see all the stuff I did, which is difficult at that angle. And so I will go back, and now I'm just gonna do this side. I know, boring, but this is what you do when you do this. It's not all fun and games, although it is kind of fun and games. You know, I have fun doing it. It's like when something's a passion, it's always easier to do. You know what I'm saying? You're proud of this. You're like, what did you do? I did this, and I'm proud of it. So, I will do this to all these. Eventually, you'll get to where there's only one angle left, and you'll be able to see. You want to do this. I'll just go in and do that real quick. Save myself later. And this brush, the way I cut it, yes, I cut it. It kind of has two ways about it. Like I can do like this, and then if I want to get a flat spot, I'll turn it over, and it's just fatter there, or narrow. It's versatile. And then I just ran out of paint. So then I'll just do these. And this paint, you don't want a lot because then it just looks, honestly, it looks gritty. It's a metal paint, and it just ends up looking dirty if you don't have it thin enough. It really does, because there's like particles in it. And so if you don't wipe it thin, it does. Like I've done it myself. It just looks dirty, and that's not what I want. Now, actually, there are times where I'll do it like that on purpose. So the paint, depending on how you put it on, looks differently as well, which is probably the same for a lot of paints, or at least these types. Regular colors, not so much. Yeah, so these are all done on this side. Just that easy. I don't even want to do that, but it drives me crazy that little piece isn't done. So, like these, I'm doing these now, all this side. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect for anybody that's gonna do this. I don't know who that is. I'm talking to people who've never done it before. If you're a painter that just does their own thing, you probably don't give a crap about what I'm saying. But if I can help somebody, do something they've never done before, or get an effect that they didn't know how to do, or didn't want to try because it would look like a big pain in the ass, this is one of them. So, I think I got a lot done actually in a short period of time. Man, if you could just have the paint never run out. A lot of this is gonna get painted anyway, but I try not to touch it. I like to. The reason why I don't is because I like to see where I'm painting, because it's such a small difference. But when you put them next to each other, they're a very noticeable difference, as you might have noticed in the other piece. There's a reason I do that, because if you do that, then you have these little highlights, and those small little lines become highlights, and they look freaking awesome. I don't really have a lot of models that you can do this type of work with. Most of the stuff I do, Most of the stuff I do is, if you look at my work, you'll see like the Chief. There's not really anywhere to do this on him. He's straight up painted like 2 colors. I mean, he's more than 2 colors, but you know what I'm saying. This has a lot of variations in the armor. His probably could. In fact, I'm probably gonna try to explore that more than him, because, there's a lot of techniques out there that I can make him look even cooler, It'll just add some highlights to his armor that I don't have right now. I just don't think to do it because he's just a tank, and, when you think of the Chief, you're just like, okay, green, black, gold, which is not even really gold. I mean, I use gold, but somebody said, you know, he's not really gold, he's more amber, his mask, and it is. I mean, you could argue that, I guess. So all this is done, except for these little couples that's left. Now there's an example of how it looks dirty. I don't know if you can see it, but like right there. It's because it's not thin enough, and that is shitty looking. There, see, I spread it out, it looks much better. Now somebody might be like, oh, it's so little, but it makes a difference when everything else is nice and spread out. You got this one little piece. I do that with wash. I won't use this. That's why this brush, as long as I can keep it, I will. It does some of the greatest work so easy. Really, it does. It goes around these little pieces like, it's like my bud, man, I'm telling you. See? I'm not saying another brush can't do it, but I'm comfortable with this brush. You know how it is, you get comfortable. It's like a pair of shoes. Eventually, people are like, man, get new shoes. You're like, nah, man, these ones are so comfy. Something like that. All right. So this is done, pretty much. So I don't know how it looks on the camera. Again, I'm just looking at it in person. I can see the diamonds chrome around the dark, and then those little rings. I try not to touch them, but you know, whatever. You can see the difference between the two probably. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do a little piece. So what I've been doing is just basically this. Just a little bit of paint on it to give it a little darker color. Then I'll go back. You see, now you can see it probably a lot there. Excuse me, man. My brother made some kind of Philly cheesesteak-ish dinner. And it gave me the burps. It was good though, I ain't gonna lie. He always makes something good. Always. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not gonna do this. I'll do this after. I'm just showing you a little piece. You see what basically my idea behind it. I'll probably fill that in too, but I'm not gonna do it now. So, and on this, I like to spread thin like this. You know, I don't like to leave any gathering of paint. I'll have to do across here. I don't like to leave something half painted. Looks good though. You can see the difference, but let me just grab some paint, get this done quickly. This is me going fast. It's still not fast. Man, you know, I got a terrible habit of leaning my fucking forearms on a table, you know, and they get sweaty. I don't want to say sweaty, I'm not sweating, it's just, you know what I'm saying. They particularly, you know, the specific area gets a little sweaty because clearly it's leaning up against the table for a long time. But there you go, so it's pretty much painted. Then I'll probably leave those silver, the light silver, those little indents, and then it'll have that look to it like the rest of it. Didn't want to do like I've seen paint jobs where the whole thing is this dull. I've seen one of these brutes. There's either one roaming around or two, I'm not sure, but they both of them have the paints. Like there's no variation to it. It's kind of like, I mean there is, but not like in this way. It's done a different way, and I don't do it that way. I like to do it myself, and then I'll weather it after, and it'll look great. But There you go. I mean, you can probably see you should be able to see the difference between this and this, or just this. And then these definitely I can see, but I don't get to see the video while I'm making it, so I can't tell for sure. But it's, you know, it's pretty, you know, pretty, I want to say significant, but it really is. I mean, it does make a big difference in the look of the armor. Look, I know I've watched videos and the person's explaining, I'm like, man, I can't tell, but there, you know, there is. But, alright, that's it. I just wanted to film that little bit, and I will see you next time. Turn this off. Sorry.